In this presentation, we will discuss preparing your SFSP application. Part 1, Information for Prospective New Sponsors. These are sponsors that have not participated in SFSP in the past. Here's our process overview. First, we have the initial application, which is the Entre system, which will be the focus of this PowerPoint. This is where you will prepare and upload documents required for your initial application process. This is due on or by April 15th. The second step is the CMP information sheet and CMP permanent agreement. In proceeding with the next phase of the application process, LDOE will mail the CMP permanent agreement to prospective new sponsors for completion. This will be returned and signed as soon as possible. Third, we have provisional approval. Provisional approval is granted to begin the online application on the CMP website. This does not mean that the sponsor has been approved. This is due before your program begins. Fourth, we have the online application. This is also submitted prior to the start of operations. We have the requirements feature, where all three are required to proceed with the online application. This includes the CMP permanent agreement acknowledgement, the SFSP agreement, and the SAM.gov verification. Next, we have the sponsor application, and then lastly, we have any facility applications that you wish to apply for. You will complete the online facility application for each proposed feeding location. The Entre system. In order to be considered for approval, prospective new sponsor applicants must submit all applicable documents via the Entre application. This is considered your initial application. The Entre application may be accessed at the link below, cmp.doe.louisiana.gov/apps/entre.app/default.aspx. If it's your first time accessing the website, you will need to register. Here are a few tips for navigating the Entre system. Registration must be completed in order to start a new application. Once registered, keep your username and password in a secure location. Please note that the system does allow the user to save your progress along the way, log out and return at a later time to continue working on the application, and to submit a complete sponsor level application for state agency review. Register for your Entre application account. You'll need a username, a password. You will need to confirm your password. You will need to submit your email address and a security question that you will type in. Complete all required fields, then click Create User. Once you've registered, enter your username and password. If you're using a computer with multiple users, disable the Remember Me option. If accessing for the first time, next you will click on Start a New Application. There's a total of 9 tabs that will be displayed in the Entre system. Each tab will be completed and saved. Once a tab has been updated, the number of outstanding items to be completed or items in error will also be updated. The Summary tab where the completed application will be submitted. Click Edit if you are returning to work on an existing application. This will allow you to leave the application and come back to complete it. The first tab we will work on is the Organization tab. Complete all the required fields and click Save and Continue as you progress. A green checkbox will appear once all the required fields have been entered and saved. On this tab we have the institution name, the mailing address, the physical address, the phone number, a fax number, and an email address. Next, we have our leadership information. At least one leader is required to be entered. Click the tab Add Leader to enter one or more of the program leaders or administrators. Enter your leader details, then click Save. The application will display a summary of each leader's information that was reported. If you click the blue square, you can edit that entry, and if you click the red trash can, you can delete that entry. Next, we have participation information. The Participation tab requires information concerning participating program, the program for which the application is being made, the tax status, which you will select from a drop-down of options, the system for award management registration, all prospective applicants must be current with their SAM, and the IRS standing, so the EIN or TIN number requested, and the 501c3 status as applicable. You can see in this example that a file has been uploaded under SAM registration file. If you click the red trash can again, you can delete that and upload a different item. And under IRS information, you can see that we need a file to be uploaded in that section. The Participation tab requests information concerning your OSRAP registration. All sponsors must be registered with OSRAP. OSRAP is how you will receive your reimbursement of funds. IRS information. A response must be provided for all areas under the Participation tab. Options are as follows. Upload or attach documentation. You can click Select File and locate the appropriate file. Once located, double-click the file or select and click Open, and then click the Upload button to finish. Or you can indicate Not Applicable by checking the appropriate field. Then Save and Continue. Under the Personnel tab, the user will click Add Personnel to enter the known SFSP staff members. At least one personnel is required. Information related to the organization provided in the Details box. Specific directions are provided in blue. List all current operations of the organization, including food service operations if applicable, and any programs or operations that are in progress now. Save and Continue. Once the Add Personnel button is selected, enter the first and last name, job title, and a brief job description. Click Save. Under the Financial tab, the user will input all requested information. This area will assess financial viability of the organization, which is required by USDA. You will upload your last completed financial period, your most recent audit statement, your most recent financial statement, your most recent bank statement, and your most recent revenue statement. Under the Operation tab, the user will input all requested information, your operational period, your organizational chart, and your food service manager or supervisor's resume. Under Facility Information, there's 2 steps per each site that's required. For step 1, you will click on Open a new site information form to access and complete the JOT form request for the proposed SFSP site location. Once that JOT form has been submitted, the user will return to this form and confirm submission of the site by typing in the site's name and clicking Save and Continue. You can also add additional sites for sponsors with multiple sites. Under the Attachments tab, all documents that you have uploaded throughout the process can be viewed here. Under the Summary tab, details should be reviewed closely to ensure that all information was reported correctly and fully. The Submit Application button is located at the bottom of this tab. Here's a summary with a few pointers. Information displayed under the Summary tab cannot be edited here. Errors found should be edited in the original tab. If the Submit Application tab is grayed out, required information is missing from the application. All red tabs should be reviewed. Submission of the Entre system application does not mean that the sponsor has completed all application requirements for the SFSP. It's the first phase of the initial application process. Federal regulation states that sponsoring organizations must be financially viable. In order to assess this, LDOE DNS requests the following: the most recent audit report completed for the organization, a copy of the organizational chart showing all current employees along with their job titles and a brief description of daily duties, a listing of the organization's annual total revenue, total payroll, and total expenditures with a breakout for food service expenses, a copy of the most recent bank statement for the organization, and a list of programs that the organization currently operates, in particular any C&P or food service operation that the organization offers to the community. Please note that if any of the above items listed are not applicable, this must be indicated in the application submission. Again, this process is due on or before April 15th. Once the sponsor application has been submitted and reviewed through the Entre system, the state agency will determine the next steps. Either we will proceed with the next phases of the SFSP sponsor application, or link the proposed SFSP sites to an existing SFSP sponsoring organization that is able or willing to provide the services. If this direction is taken, once the existing SFSP sponsor has accepted the site or sites, direct communications between the applicant and the existing sponsor will begin. The existing SFSP sponsor will notify site-level staff of training sessions to attend, meal service details, health inspections, permit details, etc. Only prospective new sponsors are required to complete the initial application via the online Entre system. However, all sponsors, prospective new sponsors, and returning sponsors must complete the online application on the C&P website that is found at cmp.doe.louisiana.gov, which requires login access. Application submission is required annually and consists of a sponsor-level application and one or more facility-level applications, or one facility-level application per SFSP site.